Welcome to Zero to Start, a podcast about immersive development that brings you inspiring conversations with XR creators, developers, and industry leaders. I'm your host, Ceciliana Trevino. Subscribe to Zero to Start on your favorite podcast platform and follow our podcast page on LinkedIn. It's Election Day in the U.S. During the storms of change and chance, I take shelter in buying vinyl, listening to The Cure, and making VR. So I'm in the midst of making a creepy crawly XR experience based on Lullaby from The Cure's Disintegration album to match my post-Halloween haunted garden. But for today's episode, I wanted to briefly reflect on what I learned from returning the Apple Vision Pro back in February. And on the next episode, I'll dive into what it's like building a quick demo with Meta's newest VR headset, the Quest 3S, the standalone mobile mixed reality headset with color pass-through starting at just $299. The new Cure album is all queued up for listening after I finish this episode, so let's get started. Earlier this year in February, I was over the moon about buying Apple's first spatial computer. Despite the steep price tag starting at $3,500, I was sure this headset was for anyone who wanted to be a part of an iPhone moment or replay cherished family memories in 3D. I thought the expense was somewhat comparable to buying a Panasonic VHS camcorder in 1986 for $1,600, equal to $4,490 today. Of course, it's not really comparable because 4K video mobile devices have never been more accessible. You can live stream your life to audiences around the world for the price of a refurbished iPhone, less than $100. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal over the summer, Tim Cook said, "At $3,500, it's not a mass market product. Right now, it's an early adopter product. People who want to have tomorrow's technology today, that's who it's for. Fortunately, there's enough people who are in that camp that it's exciting," end quote. I was convinced that the purchase would appease the inner child in me who couldn't afford anything from the future. But no. Surprisingly, my inner child rejected the luxury headset in favor of saving the money and investing it. I discovered that what my inner child really wants is a return on investment. And so I invested the time and money in myself. During the spring and summer, I took online design courses from a company called Elevator. And I just finished the user experience design for AR/VR taught by AJ Menon, senior product designer in XR at Autodesk. It taught me strong fundamentals and new approaches to communicating my ideas in a supportive and inspiring community. We learned how to use Figma, Bezier, and Spatial to design prototypes without code. I designed a concept for Gaussian splat music videos in Apple Music. I struggled quite a bit through the learning curve, and while I didn't exactly get my target with this project, the time spent on spatial design thinking was both a necessity and a luxury. Meanwhile, clickbait articles announcing the end of production for the Apple Vision Pro are proliferating, as if the phase-out wasn't expected from the start. I came across a recent article by developer Tom Krikorian titled Vision Pro, What the F is Happening?, that I believe sums up the current development environment and future potential of the AVP really well. He writes, quote, "Expectations were high, but reality set in quickly. You can't be profitable selling business-to-consumer apps on the App Store with the Vision Pro. I saw many developers saying they managed to reimburse their Vision Pro, but that's pretty much it. Most developers I know did not make enough money on the platform to justify investing more time in it. I'm still waiting for data that proves me wrong, but it's not publicly available." Krikorian goes on to say, quote, "The Vision Pro is here to stay. We're getting a new and cheaper version next year, and they're aiming for a few million units, apparently. Apple's also working on the Vision Pro 2 and a Meta Ray-Ban competitor. So clearly, they're committed to the space." On learning from past mistakes, he says, quote, "One thing we've learned as an industry in recent years is that trying to solve a non-existent problem with VR is pointless. Also, assuming VR is the right solution for certain problems can lead to a dead end. I believe many newcomers from iOS development don't consider this while creating apps for the Vision Pro. Sometimes VR should just be a feature, not the product itself. I'm not saying you can't explore ideas that don't seem to solve anything at first glance, but be aware that, in my experience, VR development takes longer than mobile development. You might end up spending more time on the wrong idea in this space and burn yourself, end quote. And I wanted to follow up with one of his colleagues' posts on X at Tina Negro, who posted on November 3rd, quote, I really thought Apple was the only other company with the power to kickstart a general purpose XR ecosystem. They have it all, an existing apps and content ecosystem, great SDKs, film production, financial resources, physical stores, best-in-class hardware, lots of experience with wearables, and much more. And Apple's problem is developers, especially these days and after this many XR winters, are unable to continue working many more years on a niche platform. Meaning you need to allocate some proper funding for the most talented teams. Maybe this has happened. I don't think so, though, but not on a scale that allows anyone to pretend that Vision OS has a vibrant and growing content and apps ecosystem. Despite that, I've worked tirelessly these past 2 months with at Tom Krikorian on a creative app and at Hugo Manoukian on a healthcare app. Now, I'm reconsidering it entirely. Maybe I should shift all my focus away from XR for a few years and get back once we have a better form factor. It's a weird time, and I'm frankly confused. End quote. This is pretty much what I was thinking back in February, where I just was like, I'm not sure if I'm really going to get the runway out of this, given the power and the potential that it actually has. I love the Vision Pro, and their latest 2.2 release is getting some nice buzz for the new wide and ultra-wide Mac virtual display. But I think the fact remains, no indie XR developer should go into credit card debt for experimental hardware that's discontinued before you've had even a chance to pay it off. Learning how to communicate your XR ideas using the latest immersive design tools and resources like Figma with Vision OS, and even some of the new Horizon OS plugins, could help you save time and money, along with gaining valuable new design skills that you can leverage across industries. Eight months after returning the Vision Pro and a steady diet of YouTube personal wealth and finance videos, I learned how to better track my spending and increase savings by using the Japanese Kakebo method, thanks to YouTuber Vincent Chan, and I'll post that link in the show notes. I opened a high-yield savings account and reached my emergency savings goal. And I'm also going to share that my credit score is on the road to 800. So I can buy 10 AVPs now if I wanted to, but now with the new cheaper version around the corner, the Quest 3 price drop, and the new Meta Quest 3S starting at $299, XR development has never been more within reach. Although when the industry will reach wide-scale profitability is anyone's guess. Returning the AVP really challenged my mindset and taught me that it's essential to diversify my income, invest more in myself, and ensure that the right systems are in place to manage and build true wealth. And I don't say that to discourage anyone from getting and enjoying their favorite luxuries. I'm just saying, maybe don't pay interest when you should be the one earning interest. And following up on my goal of learning how to wall run in Gorilla Tag, I have not played that game in months. So I'm a little off course on my plan to learn how to wall run, which, as you may or may not know, is a signature power move in the game. And because I need to catch up on my wall running goal, I'm thinking maybe December might have to be a 30-day challenge of some kind where 30 days to wall run. So if that's something that you might be interested in participating or checking out, reach out to me on LinkedIn and let me know if you might be interested in learning how to wall run in Gorilla Tag. I'm going to leave in the show notes. Be sure to check out a link to Kent Bai's interview from MetaConnect with Caristelle Smith, the developer of Gorilla Tag. It's an incredible interview, and I think you'll really enjoy that. So you can find that in the show notes. Have you played Gorilla Tag? Do you know how to wall run? Send me a message on LinkedIn. If you want to learn, maybe December is our time. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for our next episode about my first mixed reality demo on the Quest 3S. You can support the podcast by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Give us a rating and share this episode with your community. Until next time, happy installing.